Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So here's another combo video for you guys. This time it's on Pendulum, my Endymion Pendulums rather. So yeah, I did a deck profile a couple days ago, just kind of like showing you guys like how I put my deck together. And also I still feel like this deck is still a viable option, but the thing is like, since the deck did take a huge consistency hit with Electrumite being banned and Servant of Endymion going to 1, I can understand why this deck hasn't really seen too much representation lately. But you know, it is what it is, you know. I still feel like this deck can still do quite a bit, and you know, as long as you play your cards correctly, you could still pretty much pump out some pretty impressive boards. So I just wanted to show you guys one test hand, since you know, Pendulum decks, as I mentioned in the past, they take forever, and I don't want to spend like over 15 minutes just to do 2 different test hands. I'd rather just do 1 test hand under 10 minutes. So yeah. Alright, so okay, opening hand is Mythical Institution. We got Chronograph. Okay, Magical Abductor, that's actually a pretty good start. Oh, nice. I love Mighty Master opening hand, because, like, if I see him, I can easily build up on counters and just kind of, like, go from there. But let's see what our last card is. Another Mythical Institution. That's not too bad. Honestly, like, I never mind seeing more than one of these. It's just an extra spell just to boost up my spell counters for Magical Abductor. So it comes in clutch when I need it to. And interestingly enough, this card is... Mythical Institution is not at all a hard once per turn, actually. You could actually keep building up spell counters, that way you can get instant access to your monsters faster. So I think Mythical Institution, definitely something worth trying out. So yeah, so the fact that you can add a monster to your hand from your deck or extra deck, that's really nice. So let's start off with the obvious choice. We're going to place Magical Abductor on our Pendulum skill first. You know, like I said, you want to boost up your spell counters as fast as you can. We're going to go and activate Chronograph Sorcerer. That way that gets 1 counter on Magical Abductor. Keep in mind, you are going to need to keep track of your spell counters at all times, so yeah, just bear that in mind. Next, we're going to have him pop himself to special summon Time Gazer Magician, just because, you know, it's a free body, and the fact that we could very easily get access to, like, our Link monsters, it'll definitely work out. So, Time Gazer Magician, and yeah, we're moving on. Next, I'm going to go and activate... one of my Mythical Institutions that puts 2 counters for Magical Abductor. And as I mentioned, you could always activate another one if you wanted to, because the deck's not too reliant on its back row. You're mostly just going to be using scales mostly, and so on. And plus, like, if I need to get like my resources back, Mythical Institution is definitely a good option to go with. So we can go and activate that now just to get that 3rd counter. And then Magical Abductor's effect, you're going to remove 3 spell counters to search out any Pendulum monster you want. In this case, you can pretty much go into Jackal King, or you can go into one of your other Endymion monsters. Personally, I'd rather just go for the Jackal King, because, you know, like I said, it's a free body overall. So, yeah, we'll go for Jackal King. And funny enough, like, I can actually, I might be able to go into my spellbook engine, like, right about now. So, let's see first. For sure, I'm going to go ahead and place Mighty Master of Magic on the Pendulum scale. That way, you know, just to get things ready. And also, we'll plus another spell counter. So, now, of course, I can't do another search with Magical Abductor right now, considering that it's the same copy, but if I had another copy, for sure I could do it. So, I think now is a good time we can go ahead and Pendulum Summon. So, we're going to go ahead and Pendulum Summon Jackal King from our hand, plus the Chronograph from our extra deck. Alright, and next I'm going to go ahead and link off Chronograph together with my Time Gazer Magician. In which case, we're actually going to go ahead and go for Crowley. Normally I go Daybreaker, but the reason I'm going to go for Crowley is because I can easily boost up my my spell counter count this way. And if I can, depending on what I roll into, it might just, if I get Spellbook of Secrets or even Blue Boy, I can definitely like really go far on this. So obviously you're going to pick one of each of the spellbooks. Since I'm only running the one-ofs, I'm going to go and shuffle these in my hand, and then we're going to roll a dice to see what I can land on. Okay, so got those laid out. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2 it is. We get Spellbook of Knowledge. Well, that's too bad. Personally, I would have liked to have seen the Secrets or the Blue Boy, but that's fine. At least I can still use Spellbook of Knowledge to send off Crowley. That way I can at least go from there. So, because yeah, you can send either a spellcaster you control or 1 Spellbook card from your hand, or face up on the field, except Spellbook of Knowledge naturally, and draw 2 cards. So let's see. Go and cut. And then we're going to go and activate the the Spell Book of Knowledge. We're going to send Crowley to the grave. This will then trigger Abductor and Jackal King to get counters. So this gets 2, this gets 1, and then we draw our 2 cards. Oh, nice. Pot of Desires and another Mighty Master. So yeah, we can definitely keep going. So let's see what else I can draw into. I'm going to go and activate the Pot of Desires. So Pot of Desires, banish 10 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see what I banished. Okay. Surprisingly, I did not lose Servant of Endymion. I lost 2 reflections, but it's whatever. I did lose Magister, but I'm not going to need that right now anyway. So yeah, we lose our Magister. And, of course, again, each of these get 1 counter each. Or, well, 1 counter and 2 counters. So our draw 2 is nice. Spell Power Mastery and another Mythical Beast Jackal King. So we can definitely keep this going. So I guess the one thing I want to do next is we're going to go and activate Spell Power Mastery. Once again, we're just going to keep building up our spell counters. In this case, since we never banished Servant of Endymion, we can go and search that out. So let's go and search out Servant of Endymion. Or if you wanted to, you could actually get access to another reflection. That way you can at least get access to this Jackal King. So you know what? Let's do that actually. We're going to go for Reflection of Endymion only because I think I might be able to get some more spell counters on it. So yeah. And of course we get another counter and another 2 plus an extra 1 thanks to Spell Power Mastery. So we're actually going to go ahead and give this one 3 counters. So now Jackal King has 7 counters. And thanks to Mighty Master being in our Pendulum Zone, we can actually remove 6 counters at any given time. So, yeah. Alright. So next up, I guess the one thing I want to do next is we're going to go ahead and activate Mighty Master's effect. We're actually going to go ahead and remove 4 counters from Magical Abductor plus 2 more from our Jackal King. So we're actually going to go ahead and take off this and put this down to 5. And then we can special. And then we can pop up to any number of cards we want. Keep in mind that is optional if I'm not mistaken. Destroy up to that many cards. And if you do, okay, so yeah. So we're going to go ahead and pop the Magical Abductor that, for sure. You don't have to pop this if you don't want to, but you could. But if you do, you know, you can place spell counters on Endymion Mighty Master for every card he destroyed. So we're going to go and do that just to be safe. So I'll go ahead and place 2 spell counters. Next, I'll go and activate Reflection of Endymion. Once again, we're going to boost up our spell counter count to Jackal King. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing for Mighty Master. So Mighty Master, we activate it again on the Pendulum scale. This places a counter on Reflection. And then, of course, 2 more for the Jackal King. So by itself, this may not seem like a very big board, but it can actually work out because we have Mighty Master, which can negate anything, well, any spell and trap. This can negate any monster effect, and plus you can easily bounce back your Reflection of Endymion if you wanted to, and then you can keep adding on your spell counters. And plus with Mythical Institution, you can also, if anything happens to the Jackal King, this will get a spell counter on it. So this can basically end up being a loop over and over. And plus next turn, let's see what we draw into. Okay, Magical Citadel. That'd be fine. Plus, we still got our scales, so we could easily Pendulum Summon out our second Jackal King, our Chronograph back, and then just, like, activate this, and then you just keep boosting up. Now, keep in mind the deck isn't overly reliant on its extra deck. You can, like I said, you can easily make cards like Appaloosa and all that stuff, depending on how your hand looks. But generally, like, the way I had to do it, you know, I just had to make do with what I could. So, I felt like this was not too bad, but not the best hand, of course. Normally, I can get better, but again, like, this deck's consistency did kind of take a big plunder, but it's still playable. It's still, like, something you just gotta, like, think outside the box and just, like, kind of go out and go for it. And eventually I might try out the Instant Fusion tech just to see how well that works out too, you know, considering that it's a really good going second play. So, yeah, we'll just see how this deck blossoms in the future. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and as always, I'll catch you guys again next time.